Welcome to our latest Wandering Walks of Wonder campus tour. Today we're headed to Columbia, South Carolina for a tour of the University of South Carolina. Whether you're a prospective student, an alumni, or just want to take a walk around one of the most beautiful campuses on history, this is the place for you. The University of South Carolina has a rich history that dates back to its founding in 1801. The University of South Carolina was actually chartered in 1801 as South Carolina College, making it one of the oldest public universities in the United States. During the Civil War, the campus was used as a Confederate military training center. It faced challenges during Reconstruction but continued to grow after the war. In the 19th and early 20th century, the university expanded its academic programs as well as campus, and it became very well known as a great school for liberal arts and professional school education. Our walk here begins in front of McKissick Hall, which is in the Horseshoe area that we'll talk about here in just a little bit on the campus. But McKissick itself is original building was used as a library and now hosts the visitor center as well as a museum specializing in Southern folk art. The University of South Carolina became racially integrated in 1963, and this memorial is dedicated to that integration effort. It was a significant milestone in the history of the school. This followed years of advocacy and challenges during the civil rights movement. The university today is a large school with over 50,000 students. In fact, there's about 300,000 living alumni of the school today. Some of the more famous include Lindsey Graham, who's the current senator from the state of South Carolina, Darius Rucker, who is the lead musician and vocalist for Hootie and the Blowfish, Lisa Gibbons, many of you may remember her from the Entertainment Tonight show where she won 7 Emmy Awards. And Melvin Purvis, many of you may not have heard of his name, but he was an FBI agent who graduated from the University of South Carolina and was responsible for the capture of John Dillinger and Pretty Boy Floyd. This beautiful tree-lined green space that we're walking through is known as the historic Horseshoe. This is the heart of the campus itself. Buildings around that surround the Horseshoe include residence halls, classrooms, and offices. These are some of the oldest buildings on campus. In fact, 10 of the 11 buildings that we're going to be walking by here are listed on the National Register of Historic Places. One of the first buildings that we see here on the Horseshoe is DeSaussure College, which was originally built as a residence hall in 1809 and is the second oldest building on the campus of the University of South Carolina. This building was used first by the Confederacy as a hospital and then by the Union as a hospital when the Union came through and captured South Carolina. During the war, the building flew a yellow flag signifying that a hospital was here, thus saving the building itself from being destroyed by Sherman's forces. The building continues to serve as a residence hall and also as the College of Social Work. This monument that we see in front of us honors the university's very first president, Jonathan Maxey. It was designed by South Carolinian Robert Mills, who also designed the Washington Monument. Kind of see a resemblance to the Washington Monument here in this monument to Maxey. McCutcheon House is named for Professor George McCutcheon, who was the second, and it was the second faculty residence built here on the college campus. It continued in that capacity until 1945 when the university stopped providing faculty housing and the registrar's office moved into the building. McCutcheon House later served as home for the College of Nursing. During the renovations of the Horseshoe in the 1970s, the building's purpose was changed again and it became the Faculty House Club. Today, a portion of the second floor of the house has the Faculty Senate office, while the remainder is operated by the School of Hotel, Restaurant, and Tourism Management as a restaurant. Harper House that we see here was erected on the site of an earlier building that originally served as the campus dining hall. Harper was part of an extensive mid-century construction program that accommodated a growing number of enrollment in the school. The building was named for William Harper, who was the first graduate of the South Carolina College. Harper eventually became a noted South Carolina judge as well as a U.S. senator. Another building here on the historic Horseshoe is probably one of the most famous of all, and that is this building that's now known as the South Carolina Library. Built in 1840, it's the oldest freestanding college library in the entire United States. It was replaced as the main library when a new library was built in the 1940s. It's now a repository for published and unpublished materials related to the history, geography, literature, and culture of South Carolina. Flynn Hall, originally known as the Fourth Professor's House, is a historic building here on campus. It was constructed in 1860 and was the last building that was completed just before the Civil War. The house featured very modern amenities for its time, including dormer windows as well as gas lighting. The building itself was initially a faculty residence, and it was home to John LeConte, a professor of chemistry who lived there until the 1870s. During his residency, LeConte owned 12 slaves, and some may have lived in the slave quarters that were constructed alongside the main building of the house. In 1935, Flynn Hall was relocated to the space we see today, about 50 yards away, to make room for construction of this next building that we see, which is the War Memorial Building. The War Memorial Building is a significant tribute to the state's World War I veterans. It was constructed in 1935. Originally, the building served as a memorial and housed the South Carolina Department of Archives and History until 1960. It then moved to become the university's Department of International Studies, and from 1972 to 2002, it was home to the South Carolina Confederate Relic Room and Museum. Today, the building houses the University of South Carolina's Publication Department. Longstreet Theater was built in 1855 and fully renovated in 1976. Longstreet features a circular stage and seats about 300 people. It's also home to the Department of Theater and Dance for the University of South Carolina. To our right are a series of buildings dedicated to scientific pursuits by students here on campus. Sumwalk College, the Coker Life Science Building, the Earth and Water Science Building, the Jones Physical Science Center, and the John M. Palm Center for Graduate Science Research houses much of the science related areas of study here on campus. One of the most well known science programs in the nation for marine science is supported by a large field station on the coast of Georgetown, South Carolina, not too far away from here. And it's also one of the better marine university programs in the United States. The largest library on campus is the Thomas Cooper Library. It houses more than 8 million items. It's a resource for visiting scholars from around the world as well as students here on campus, and also houses an extraordinary collection of political memorabilia, papers, as well as rare books. The building itself is actually much larger than it looks because there's 5 additional floors of library space below what we're seeing right here in front of us today. The hub of student life here at the University of South Carolina is Russell House. It's a central meeting place on campus where you'll find dining facilities, student post office boxes, ATMs, meeting rooms, the university bookstore, and a movie theater. It's home to various student organizations, including student government and many leadership and community service programs. And there's about a dozen restaurants inside. The Women's Quad has housed female students since as early as 1924 and grew considerably in the 1950s. The quad still only houses women and underwent major renovations in 2014. These three residence halls now provide exemplary residential learning experiences right here in the heart of campus. We're now entering what's called the east part of campus. This area is dominated by buildings for the College of Arts and Sciences, which is the largest college itself here on campus. Along the way, we'll see various classroom buildings as well as the Colloquium Cafe, which is a popular breakfast and lunch spot, various classrooms, language labs, as well as offices for professors you'll see along the way. As we walk down here along College Avenue or College Street, we'll see a large building that is towards the end of the street, and that is the Capstone Scholars Program. This is a residential 2 year academic program that provides opportunities both inside and outside the classroom that focuses on academics, leadership, social involvement, and service. About 1,000 of the nation's brightest students are enrolled in this program. The closed HIP building is home of the College of Hospitality, Retail, and Sports Management. Inside this building is a cafe, a culinary laboratory, a graduate school, as well as various other university services and offices. We're now returning back to a little bit older part of the campus, and this is the Gibbs Green area. Most of these buildings that we see are classrooms or residence halls, and most of those were built in the late 1800s and early 1900s. They house various different academic departments and much of the humanities programs as well. Gibbs Green is named for Major Wade Hampton Gibbs, who was a prominent Colombian who owned much of the land here east of the campus. Gibbs Green consisted of an area of land bounded by Pendleton, Bull Pickens, and Green Street. It was acquired by the South Carolina College in 1838, and the land was kept for many years as open space for a playground, ball field, and park for several generations of Colombians. In 1910, Davis College opened up and was the first building on Gibbs Green. The oldest building that we see here on campus is Rutledge College. This building was constructed in 1805 and is the first building erected at South Carolina College. At that time, it served as a residence hall, lecture hall, chapel, library, faculty housing, and laboratory. The building itself was named for John and Edward Rutledge, both governors of South Carolina. In 1855, the building was destroyed by fire but rebuilt immediately. After the Civil War, the East Wing was used by quarters for the Federal Military Command at the Columbia District. During that time, the Columbia Post Office and the Office of the State Treasury were located in the West Wing of that building that we see today, and the House of Representatives met in the chapel. We're now standing in front of the president's house. This building replaced the first faculty residence on campus that was destroyed by a fire in 1854. The president's house introduced the Regency style of architecture to Columbia. It served as a faculty residence until the 1940s when it was converted to a women's residence hall. At that time, uh, it was named after the composer of the university's alma mater. In 1952, it was converted into a single dwelling house to become the president's house. Originally designed as a residence hall, Laguerre College replaced a library and science building that was erected on the site here in 1817. Laguerre College was named for Hugh Swinton Laguerre, a South Carolina College graduate who served as Attorney General of the United States. Federal military offices were located here after the Civil War. Today, Laguerre College is a residence hall and houses the administrative offices of the Department of Military Sciences. The building ahead of us is called Lieber College, and it's named for Francis Lieber, who was one of the most distinguished scholars in the history of the university. A native of Prussia, Lieber migrated to America in 1827 and was elected chair of history and political sciences in 1835. While at South Carolina, he authored the Manual of Political Ethics, Legal and Political, as well as On Civil Liberty and Self Government, which established him as America's first political scientist. He remained in this college until he retired in 1856. I hope you've enjoyed this Wandering Walks of Wonder tour here on the campus of the University of South Carolina. Make sure to leave a comment if you are an alumni or current student, and also make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you on our next Wandering Walks of Wonder adventure. Take care now. Bye bye.